The Chicago Bears, they might have a problem that they just can't fix. And also, there's a little bit of good news wrapped up into this. And we're to the point that we just got through of practice number 14 of training camp. So we're looking at things starting to ramp up. And there was just a big scare today and some further bad news on Nate Davis. Big surprise, right? Ryan Bates exited practice. So this offensive line, it's been absolutely ravaged by injuries lately. Just when it appears to be getting back on a good foot, Ryan Bates, he walked off practice with trainer Andre Tucker, didn't return to practice. And this guy was already filling in for an injured Nate Davis at right guard, replaced by Matt Pryor. So Bates has been in competition with Coleman Shelton for the starting center position. And I'm going to go to this story on Yahoo Sports. You guys, there is coverage of training camp practice everywhere. This just happens to be a really good one. So we're looking at a Nate Davis injury update. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But it sounds like Bates, he's going to end up being the starting right guard come week 1 against the Titans. And this is according to Adam Hodge. He was spotted doing some work near the side of the sideline at the end of practice. I mean, that's really good news on Bates, but he likely isn't going to suit up for Saturday's preseason game against the Bills. I mean, it's hard to say. The really good news, right tackle Darnell Wright, back at practice. He exited Wednesday after getting his leg rolled up on, and that is such good news. And to get to Davis, we're doing like bad news, good news, bad news. As for Davis, he remains out with what head coach Matt Eberflus is calling soft tissue stuff. He returned to practice over the weekend, suffered a setback, and then he's been out ever since. And during Thursday's press conference, Coach Flus, he said that Davis is considered week to week. So once again, Nate Davis doing Davis things like not being available. So, and this is going to be the direct injury report from Kevin Fishbane. I just want to read it for you just so you have definite, straight from the horse's mouth. So, Bears right guard Nate Davis is week to week with a soft tissue injury. We don't know the specifics of Davis's injury. I'm going to close that down. We don't know the specifics, but head coach Matt Eberflus said that Davis, he suffered a setback in his recovery and will now miss multiple weeks. Whether or not this absence could stretch into the regular season is yet to be determined, but his absence would create a massive hole along the right side of the Bears line. Davis played in 11 games for the team last season. Kind of feels like less, and he was limited by an ankle injury suffered in week 7. Also, in addition to Davis, Coach Flus said the team is feeling good about cornerback Kyle Gordon's recovery, but didn't give a specific timetable for his return either. But that's good news for Spider-Man. So looks like the starters will be on the field for preseason action against the Bills on Saturday. That's great news. And I mean, if Bates does end up ready to go, Adam Hodge, he said he was doing work on the sideline after practice. Once again, that's really good news. We'll be looking at Coleman Shelton at center, I think, and Bates at right guard. And we just can't rely on Nate Davis and this offensive line issue, these guys coming in and out of the lineup. It might be something that we can't really fix. So this, my friends, is why versatility is emphasized, right? We're seeing it in action. So this line build, it's actually doing what was intended. So even the addition of Pryor gives us a lot of assurance. He was popped right into the position. So this very well could be the starting lineup for week 1. Left tackle Braxton Jones, left guard Tevin Jenkins, center Coleman Shelton, right guard Ryan Bates, right tackle Darnell Wright. And I mean, I'm still pretty okay with that. But man, these injury scares are not fun as guys have been in and out of practice. And I mean, this is something that we probably cannot fix. As fans, obviously we can't, but it's something that GM Ryan Poles likely cannot fix. But we're seeing this plan in action as we've gotten injuries, even in practice. Relax. It's not regular season yet. This is happening in practice. We're not seeing another guy from the lineup come all the way across. We're not seeing Tevin Jenkins come over to right guard again. We're not seeing a lot of shifting and a lot of panicking. It's simply another reserve coming up and plugging into the spot. And that's really the plan that Ryan Poles has for this line the whole time. So it's not a matter of can the Bears fix this? It's a matter of should they fix it? Isn't this team build working exactly how it should? But we've been dinged up, so I'm going to get into this. I mean, offensive line instability is a concern. The great news is Bates appears to be fine, but it is getting concerned with the question being, is this line going to be stable? I mean, look what happens. And granted, this is training camp, but we have some PTSD here. Left guard Tevin Jenkins, right tackle Darnell Wright, right guard Nate Davis. All these guys have been in and out of practice over this last week. And while Jenkins and Wright appear to be fine, thankful for that, Davis considered week to week. There's just absolutely no doubt that this O-line is probably the biggest concern on this team heading into the season. So, and especially given that they have Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback, right? He's going to make his debut under center this week. Protecting him is so important. And this is via bearswire.com. According to media members in attendance, the offense had another rough showing during the 2-minute drill today. Rookie QB Caleb Williams, he tossed a couple interceptions. Just another tough day for this offense. And it's been a rough few practices for the offense. That continues on Thursday ahead of Saturday's preseason game against the Bills. So you can look at it a few different ways. You could be like, hey, the offense is going up against a top flight defense, maybe one of the top 5 in the whole NFL. Maybe that is the explanation. Maybe this is a good thing that Caleb's being challenged. Or you can go the Chicken Little way, say the sky is falling, say these guys on the offensive line are dropping like flies and Caleb Williams isn't ready for prime time. I mean, you can go both ways. You guys know me well enough that I'm going to be on the way. Trust this team build. Trust that Caleb Williams is the answer, and also look at this as a really good thing. He is facing one of the best defenses in the whole NFL on a daily basis, and naturally they're going to get to him. So Josh Schrock, he's also saying it's another rough day for the offense against a defense that was down 5 starters. The offense is just having a tough time today. He also noticed Zach Pearson said that the ball wasn't coming out as quick as you'd like from Williams during 7-on-7s. There were a number of scrambles due to the defense's coverage, and the offense once again struggled during the 2-minute drill. That's where Williams was picked off by safety Kevin Byard. What an addition he is. And that ended the drill. It looks like, too, that Coach Matt Eberflus, he's also throwing a lot of blitzes at Williams, and I absolutely love that. I love that pressure is getting to him with or without the blitzing, but man, him sending the kitchen sink after him, that's going to help him so much during practice, and especially since they can't actually hit him. So we're not risking him getting injured. He can work out the cobwebs with this. And 2 interceptions on the day. Byard pick in the 2-minute drill. Safety Elijah Hicks also snagged an interception during 11-on-11s. And man, let's get to the final good news. Starters are going to play versus the Bills. We got rookie quarterback Caleb Williams officially making his NFL preseason debut Saturday against the Bills. And that was an announcement just today. If you guys think back, no starters started in the Hall of Fame game, and that's because the Bears have an additional 4th game. Neither did Houston, so there's that. This will be Williams' playing debut in a Bears uniform. I just can't wait. We saw him dressed last week for warmups. Didn't play in the weather-shortened game, but Eberflus says he wants to see the progression of what Williams has been putting forth in training camp. He's actually excited to see him in live action as well. He's also talked about during this offseason that Williams, he's going to get some play in this offseason. He's looking to get 40 to 45 reps, and along with the rest of the starters on offense and defense, they are going to play in this game. So this is exciting. Eberflus had something to say about Williams and the healthy starters, that they're going to have a range of plays against the Bills on Saturday. Didn't really detail a general play count for this specific game, but to hear it directly from him, more of what we see now. He's been getting a lot of play against our number 1 defense, and specifically he said he wanted to see Williams operate at a clean level. Really just the operation of it, no pre-snap penalties, just clean operation. So Eberflus is not only looking at this as a litmus test for Caleb Williams, it's also a litmus test for this offensive line, and it's been a little sketchy at times. And so as we look at this, Injury updates involving cornerback Kyler Gordon, right guard Nate Davis, long snapper Patrick Scales. Gordon has missed the past 2 weeks with tightness, and Eberflus said it's a work in progress. We're getting close. We feel good about where he is, and once again, the Davis setback. But I think we're actually really in good shape. We're on track. I'm glad that these guys coming in and out of practice with injuries is happening during the preseason, and it also might be precautionary. It also might be if we are in actual games, these guys would still push through these soft tissue and little minor injuries. So everybody, the sky is not falling. Take a deep breath. No panic. These subs coming in, these guys, Ryan Bates coming over to right guard. You've got guys like Matt Pryor plugging in where needed. This is exactly the design that was in mind for this offensive line. And we're just really the only definite right now is that we've got to move forward as fans, and GM Ryan Poles has to move on with the thought that Nate Davis, he's just not going to be here. So if he gets healthy, that's a great surprise. But if he doesn't, shouldn't be a surprise. And I think this line is prepared for it. You guys bear down. It's been a great offseason. I cannot wait for Saturday, this offseason game against Buffalo. We're going to see homecomings, if you will, of Ryan Bates. We're going to see Tremaine Edmonds playing in this game against his old team. And that even that storyline might be fun. You guys let me know in the comments. I will see you soon.